Hello friends, my name is Bobby Thomas. Today I am going to explain how you can create a virtual private cloud VPC in AWS. VPC is one of the fundamental building blocks of any AWS infrastructure. It serves multiple purposes. One of the most important one is security. We don't want our database servers or app servers directly accessible from public internet. We want to make sure that the resources which has to be protected are deployed in a private network. Also, we need to make sure that our systems are highly aware. In this demo, we are going to create a virtual private cloud VPC in AWS with the CIDR block 10.0.0.0 divided by 16, which is a class B with more than 65,000 IP addresses. We will create 4 subnets, 2 in each availability zone. In each availability zone, we will have 1 public subnet and 1 private subnet. Exactly same thing in availability zone 2, which means effectively from clients, the systems created in public subnets can be accessed through the internet gateway, and the ones in private subnet will not be accessible directly from internet. The CIDR blocks what we are going to use is public subnet 1, 10.0.0.0 divided by 24, which is roughly 2 raised to 8 to 56 IP addresses available, practically 251 IP addresses ranging from 10.0.0.0 to 10.0.0.255. That's 2 public subnet, one 10.0.0 and 10.0.1, and 2 private ones 10.0.100 and 10.0.101. Let's create a VPC in AWS. Before I do that, I am in Sydney region. I will show you my VPC right now. I have 1 VPC, no subnets. I deleted the default subnet as well. This is the default VPC, 1 route table, 1 internet gateway, etc. So it's a fresh start. I have a CloudFormation script to create this VPC, so that I can repeat this process again and again. I will kick off this while the creation is going on. I will give you an update on what is going on here. Let's quickly VPC network. Next. This is part of a microservice demo, so I will give MS demo VPC. I will give the environment MS demo. Next. I will not give any tag or anything. I'll just let it create. So while the creation is going on, I'll quickly explain what is going on in the template. So basically, I'm going to create 4 subnets. There are CIDR blocks defined in the mapping. I'll create a VPC. The resources I'm going to create is VPC, public subnet 1 in availability zone, and public subnet 2 in a different availability zone. You can see the mappings, CIDR block mappings, etc. You will have private subnets, 2 private subnets, an internet gateway which will be attached to the VPC, and public subnet can connect to internet through the internet gateway. You will have a route table, public route table, and a private route table. Basically, the public route table, any connection to internet go through internet gateway. Also, all the association for private and public route tables. So it's pretty nothing fancy. The stack is created now. Let's go back and see the VPC now. Now I have 2 VPCs. I have 4 subnets. It's named appropriately, MS demo private subnet 2, 1. You can see the CIDR blocks. They are as defined in the documentation as we have defined. Let's look at the public subnet and the route table. So or it says is any connection to internet go through the internet gateway. And if you look at the private subnet, it has only local connections, nothing else. Okay, let's quickly test the VPC created. Let's go to EC2. we don't have any instances running. Let's launch a couple of instances, one in a public subnet and one in a, we will use the default AMI. I will select the new VPC we have created, and here we select public subnet 1, and others I keep options default. Security group, let's create a security group with SSH access, and just add a custom 8080 for testing later on. Review and launch SSH HTTP. I'll choose my existing key pair for access. Let's launch that instance. View instances. While that's getting created, let's create another one in a private subnet. Next, I'll create the VPC, and in this case I'll select private subnet 1. Next, we'll select the existing one what we created. We probably select the SSH access only for the private subnet. We will probably give only access from the public subnet, not from anywhere, but just for the demo purpose and for simplicity, let's keep it as from anywhere. Launch, create view instances. Okay, now one instance is running, the public one is running. Let's SSH into that instance. I have the command. Yes. Okay, so I am in the instance we created in the public subnet. Let's get. Let's try to get a web page from internet. So it successfully retrieved the page because we are in the public subnet. It has got internet access. Now, also we could SSH from my box to the server we just created, which means effectively from internet you can connect into the system as well. Now for the private one, as you can see, there is no public IP address, so it's not accessible from outside. But just to prove the point, what I will do now is I will use the public, the system, the instance in public subnet as a bastion host, and I will SSH into the private box and see whether we have internet connectivity there. So what I'm going to do now is I will copy my for SSHing we need the AWS key, so let's copy that across. So let's SCP the so it's moved, so you can go to cd temp, so you can see the AWS access key there. So let's SSH. So the one on top we will use it to connect to the private one, the instance in the private subnet, and the one bottom we are in the public one. So at the moment we are both are in public the instance in public subnet. So let's SSH into the the private one. So the IP of that is, the local IP of that is 10 dot AWS access EC2 at the IP address. Yes. Okay. Now you are in the we are in the instance in private subnet. So let's try the same thing. Can I? So as you can see, there is no internet connection. We cannot access these instances. There is no outward connectivity and inward connectivity on these instances at the moment. Now, in order to give connection, internet connection, outward internet connection from these private instances to internet, we need to attach a NAT gateway. So let's do that now. Let's go back to CloudFormation. I have another CloudFormation script there. Choose the stack. I will explain while the creation is going on. NAT gateway, choose ms demo NAT ms demo, create. So while that's going on, I will open the template and quickly explain what is done here. It's pretty simple and straightforward. We have created an elastic IP, created a NAT gateway, and updated the private route saying any connection to internet, use this NAT gateway. Okay, so the NAT gateway creation is complete. Let's look at the VPC again. NAT gateways, yes, it is. We have a NAT gateway with an elastic IP address. Let's look at the subnet. Private subnet 1, route table. Okay, it's saying any connection to internet, go through NAT gateway. So now let's quickly test that. So we could not connect internet before. Yes, now we have internet connectivity. So far we have successfully created VPCs. We have created the NAT gateway. So the systems have successfully connected to internet outwards from private subnet. Now let's install a simple application in both these instances. I have a simple node application. I have a Docker image. So what I will do is I'll quickly install Docker into I'll quickly install Docker into both these instances. As I mentioned before, the one on top is the private instance in private subnet and the one below is in public subnet. So let's install Docker on both. Let's start service Docker on both, and let's add user group, EC2 user into the user group for both, so you can directly run the command without sudo. So I need to log out and log in to get for the exit and connect back, exit and connect back. So let's pull the Docker image on both. and start the server. Okay, now I have an application running on port 8080 on both private and public instances. So let's test the public one first. Health and info. Yeah, so it's directly accessible from internet on the public one. So let's try the private one. So you cannot access the private one directly. So what I'm going to do is I will stop the Docker running in the public one. So you can see the public one should be down now. Yes, it's down. And now what I will do is I will install socket there. So that's successfully installed. I can run. I will run socket here, basically forwarding all the traffic from this instance, anything coming in this instance, to the private subnet. So private subnet IP is 10.0.100.233:8080. So any connection on the local in the instance in the public subnet will be forwarded to the one in private subnet. So I'll start that. Yeah, now you got the server running with a different unique ID. Also, we can do another one. You can actually do a curl, or another way to test is curl on /10.0.100.233:8080/info. Yeah, and /health. Status okay. So now let's stop it. So let's remove that and then try again. It's not connecting. So effectively we proved that the private instance is not accessible directly from outside, but we can always connect via the public instance, which is exactly what we want in our VPC design.